Hi, we're getting ready. We're almost there. First day of summer is next week. It's Thursday, June 20th. That is going to be our official start date. So, who remembers what it even feels like to be inspired? I feel like it's been a long time since most of us swam in that and lived in it and lived by it. And we can return to this. We can really steer ourselves back to it for real. I'm so excited. I can't wait to dive into this and to really put it into action. So right now is prep time. This is a prep video. This is to get us ready and planning so that we can make sure we have everything set to be successful. We want this to really work. We're not going to just talk about this. We're going to actually do it. We're going to make this happen, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to support each other, and we're going to walk through it, and we're going to remind ourselves all of the things that we have forgotten. So I'm going to talk about the heavy for just a second, and then we'll get into some planning. But I just want to make sure everyone understands why this is so vitally important for us. We are stuck. Our nervous systems are completely tapped out. We are stuck. We're stuck in fight or flight mode. We have high levels of stress. And our bodies can't sustain this. It's not sustainable. We're not supposed to live in stress. We're not supposed to be stuck in fight or flight mode all the time. And so we need a reset. We absolutely need a reset. This is a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect time of year. It's a great opportunity to do it in community with other people, with some education, with some support. And so we want to do some planning. I'll let you know what I'm doing to plan for this week and get myself set up and ready. I want to hear your ideas. I want you to share them with me, with each other. Let's really create a forum where we can not be slaves to all of these things anymore. It's our electronics, it's distractions, it's social media, it's all of these. They're all now encompassed in the same places, and it's too much. We can't be living like this anymore. It's not good for us. Our nervous systems, like I said, are shot. Our brains are overwhelmed. We can't really tolerate a whole lot anymore. Our attention spans are shorter. So all of these reasons are why it's so important and so vital to our health and well-being to do something different, to really make this something great. So do this for yourself, do it for each other, do it for your kids, do it for your partners, do it for everybody in your house and in your family. So share it with people you live with. That's a great thing to do because it'll make this a lot easier to do it together. But share it with friends, people you know that would maybe try it, right? They don't have to be fully in, but try it out. Try it for a couple weeks. See how it feels. You're gonna feel different. So here's the exciting part, right? The opposite of the heavy stuff of what we've been dealing with, what we've been carrying around, all that heavy stuff. You are going to feel less anxious. You are going to feel more calm and less irritable. Your attention span is going to start to come back. You're going to have access to resources that you don't have in fight or flight mode. Our brain works differently when we're in that, and we don't have recall. We don't have working memory and processing in the same way. Now we get to have all that back, and we get to then create new neural pathways with that space that's created. We get to be creative. We get to build things and grow and learn in ways that we can't do when we're just in survival mode. So I'm really excited about all of that. The experiences we're going to have, we're going to really feel what they feel like. We're going to get reconnected to who we are, to our time together. We really need to take into consideration, what have we been contributing to all of this, right? Are we inspiring others, or are we contributing to the other stuff, to the negativity and the comparison and the beating ourselves up and all of those things? We're going to talk about those things because I think it's important for us to learn about all that. I'll provide some education, some helpful ideas, and really understand ourselves in this kind of way, so that we can do something about it. I think that knowledge and understanding is important. and also to normalize that we're all going through this. I'm going through it. You're going through it. We're all dealing with this stuff. Our brains all work the same way. And we're all impacted by all of this stuff, all these constant bombardments of stress and distractions. That's what it feels like. It's overwhelming our brains. So we're going to do it different. We're going to take the reins back, and we're going to only fill ourselves up with what feels good, what feels inspiring. We're only going to fill each other up with what feels good and inspiring. We're going to really be the change that we want. We desperately want this. We desperately need it. And so we have to do our part, and we have to be that so that we can spread, positive, everything, be good to each other, be kind, be compassionate, be understanding, not just with each other, with ourselves too. And it's really going to create momentum in a whole new way, and we're going to feel great. So let's talk about prep for a minute. Some of the things you can do is really make sure you have a plan. So what we talked about and what I wrote, and I'll keep reposting, is limiting your use of electronics. So of course, phones and social media and all of the things that we scroll through and constantly look at on our phones is really important, right? We're all pretty addicted to this stuff, but also television, tablets, think about that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm self-employed. My business relies pretty heavily on the use of some electronics. So for me, I need to schedule blocks of time because it's too easy. Having this flexibility is nice, but it's too easy to spend too much time doing it or take away from personal time in order to do work type things. So you have to cater this to your individual life and schedule and situation. But I know for me, I have to have it scheduled. So these are my work hours where I can use, the computer or the phone if I need to. And this is my personal time where I don't do that. And maybe I'll think about a time limit for any time that I am spending on a personal note, watching TV or looking at my phone or doing something, that it's really going to be minimized to only, I don't know, I'm thinking for me 30 minutes to an hour a day, but you got to do what's right for you. Make sure it's a decrease from what you're already doing. And then maybe you do it gradually. Maybe you do it in steps where you come down, 15 minutes or a half hour from what it was. Every little bit helps. Every increment helps you get back something in your inner workings that you weren't able to have access to before. I'm buying some disposable cameras so that when I do things or go places or have experiences that I'm not relying on my phone for my camera. So that's kind of fun because, it's been a long time since we've used any of those. Maybe people have a camera. I think I said before, if you want to thought about photography and want to invest in a nice camera, that's something to consider too. Make this fun, make it exciting. That's what this is all about. It's to be, invigorated again and to be excited about life again and rediscover joy. And you can't do that when you're in survival mode. So we want to set the stage for all of that to come back in and be successful with it. So setting those times, there's going to be electronic free time in my house. I know that, meal times, when we're doing family activities, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of is already in place now, but it's gonna be tightened up a little bit. I think sometimes after a while it gets lax, and then you gotta kind of, reinstate. Okay, wait a minute. This is not what we want. This isn't the direction we want to go in. I've also thought about having a journal or a notebook that's really dedicated to any struggle I might be having with this, or when I am on an electronic or on social media, if I get triggered or set off by anything, I'm going to make note of it. I'm going to keep some kind of written, accounting of what's going on inside of me. What am I reacting to? What do I need to really pay more attention to? Because it goes by so fleeting. You could be scrolling and then all of a sudden have a stomach ache and you don't even know why, because it was probably a couple minutes ago, but it's lingering and it sits there. And sometimes it really takes a long time to sit, if you can get to it, and even discover what brought that up in the first place. So keeping some kind of journal or log of all of that stuff is really helpful, so you can pay attention, because it can go by in literal milliseconds before you even realize what happened and what you reacted to. If you have questions, put those out there. Let me know. If you want to share your ideas, what are you doing? How are you preparing for this? We have a little over a week. Plenty of time to get the stage set for how do you want to enjoy this summer? How do you really want to be part of life again and not be on autopilot anymore? I'd love to hear your ideas. Share it with people you love. Let us know if you're on board. Get involved and support one another and share ideas. And I'm so excited to keep going down this road with you. And we'll talk soon.